Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci with Protect Dog Training. I gotta clear out some of my space and memory and SanDisk card to figure out what I got going on. Good boy, good. That's my boy, good. Good boy. I've got Loki out this morning, and he's starting to mature to a point now that I need to start cuffing him, and I did this morning earlier, and start teaching him the word no, and bringing him along as far as our relationship is based in that regards. He's been a wild little puppy. He's been all over the place. He tears into my nose. Nope. My legs a lot. He's got a lot of drive that gets him into trouble. But when you do this, how you do it is real important. So what I did this morning is he was going after my legs, getting into me like you saw the other day. And I haven't really corrected him at all for this behavior because I didn't want to take the wind out of the sails, and I wanted him to build a little bit and get some more maturity. He's only about 11 weeks old now. Right now I need to get in here, and I should grab him with both hands and cuff him, not cuff him, excuse me, give a correction. So what I usually do, and I wish I had somebody to film this, is you grab the dog's snout by the top of the mouth, and you grab the object out of his mouth. You've got one hand on the top of his mouth, and you take the object out, and you pop him in the nose with it, okay? And real quick and done and over with, no. And if he wants to come back, you're going to bring your correction level up. But you guys to keep in mind that every dog is different. What I do with Rocky, I may not do with your dog. You have a softer dog, you have a dog that I don't want to squash. No, see how he picks up things? That's what I'm talking about. He needs to start having me jump down and grab him by the snout and then take it out of his mouth, tell him no, phooey, and pop him in the nose with it real quick. Done and over with. So I wish I could have somebody to film me to do that. His mouth is all over the place. He's into no. Good. And so we've got to teach him that when no means no, basically. And you don't want to be too nope, good, good. Too rough on him and take him down a peg or two that he really starts to stunt his growth. We like this exuberance in what he's showing because it shows a high drive dog. No, good boy, good. So it's important that you do these corrections done and over with. You cuff the dog in one form or fashion. When I'm talking cuffing, I'm talking like the mother would do, where they reach down and they grab the dog's snuff in the neck and they shake real hard, and it's done and it's over with. And you'll hear the little puppy go, 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 go. And I only do that when I want a little bit more of a forceful correction that I need to get done and over with. And he's usually associated towards biting on me or something that's going towards me, okay? With a really over precocious and over aggressive manner, and I'll bring my correction level up to a level the dog respects, whatever that level is. Remember the rule: it's got to be done and over with, matter of fact, and you don't hold any animosity. You don't show any of that emotion that's going to make the dog have anxiety or other things that may arise from it. Real important that you have your corrections be done and over with, matter of fact, okay? And then you think things through. I thought this through. I see this behavior coming at me like he's doing right now. Nope. Good. And I waited my time and I sensed the dog had the maturity to handle it, and that he's strong enough to be able to handle it. Again, I may not do this on your dog. You may have a soft dog that doesn't dictate that he can handle it. And it's really a critical thing in how you do this, because you don't want to take the dog down to a point where you're demoralizing him and he loses confidence from what you're doing, okay, and feels insecure. You've got to do it just enough that he still keeps this little cocky edge to him, but at the same time understands his limitations, the boundaries and limitations. And I start realizing I'm using words that I use that come from other trainers, and this one boundary limitations comes from Cesar Millan. You got to remember, I was around Cesar for a good 4 years. We hung together real tight for a long time. I lived at his place for a good year. We rode everywhere together. We went to a tabletop, if you know what tables are. Some people do. Round table, square table. They have a long table. They usually come from the bird dog people that had brought in these tables to do different things to use for building their dogs. And we were getting back then, this was back in the what was it, the 80s, when I was around Caesar, and we were starting getting to tabletop. We went to a seminar in Arizona. We rode together on that one, and I was showing him a lot towards the reach that I was giving towards protection and doing what I was doing, and then he was learning and growing along with it. He doesn't do much protection at all now. He's a TV star, but back then he did a lot of protection. He's one of the best decoys that I ever saw because he was so animated in the work, and that's really important to be able to give your animation and energy as far as your emotions to the dog when you're working an animal, especially as a decoy, and knowing what to do in that regards. He was one of the best that he helped me raise a dog that I had, a Malinois by the name of Thunder. In fact, there was a story to tell with that. One of these times I'll get chattering at the screen. I'll tell you guys about that story. So right now we've got him chewing on my leg. See this? No. Good. Now he may want to come back if that's not a forceful enough correction. So what you've got to do is you've got to bring that correction level up to a level that he respects. And right now he's really taking advantage of his no. What'd I say? Good. So what I want to do now is I want to redirect, get him into something else because he's all over with energy-wise. I actually want to do a lot of click and treat, so I'm going to put him away. We're going to come back and do some click treat, and then I'll break into some toy and roughhousing afterwards. His mouth is all over the place this morning, which is only natural. He's a growing boy at 10, 11 weeks old. All right, let me put him away. Come on, Loki. I'm going to put you in the cage, buddy. I'll talk to you guys later. Get in there.